course, we were discussing about the Masters Golf Championship. It's always terrific when Tom Lehman takes time to hang out with us. PGA Champions Tour player, 1996 British Open champion, and he joins us right now on the Right Toyota guest line. Tom, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Welcome as always, pal. You ready for this week?
How we doing, Tom?
Hey, boys, I'm doing great. It's good to hear your voices, and it's great to be with you.
Well, you are a tradition like no other, to pardon the pun, because you're on with Rock and Manuch and Jimmy B every year. I think the last 12, 13, 14 years, Tom, ever since I've been training those fine sons of yours for that little quarterback training. I mean, I trained them so well, they're now golfers, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we won't talk about that, but I got to tell you, though, I'm actually on my way to Augusta, going through Columbia, South Carolina, new home of Spencer Rattler, Manuch. So I think I'm just kind of feeling the football vibe.
I got you right there. Well, you're headed to the Masters, and Tom, I got to tell you, all these years you've been playing golf down the Champions Tour, do you still get the special vibe? You're driving into the Masters and going to the course like you did that very first time you arrived at the Masters?
Yeah, except for being nervous. That's the only thing. I mean, just driving up the driveway made me nervous when I would go play in the Masters. But so it's nice to go back. It's great to be there. It's great to be there without any pressure. But you do realize that you sure miss it. You sure miss being able to walk down those fairways and have to hit shots and make putts. With everybody watching and the world watching on TV, it's really quite an amazing. And I do miss it.
On top of that, it's funny for all those of us that have watched it for so many years. I know Jimmy's been there, and I know Rock's been there a few times. For us, people that watch the beauty of it, what is the one thing that you were more nervous about? But once you started playing, you calmed down and just figured this is just another golf course, or does that acumen of just another golf course never enter the game itself?
I just think you feel the tradition, you feel the history. It kind of oozes out of everything that happens at Augusta. I think that's part of what, would make me, nervous. I would say nervous in a good way. Yeah. Not like you're afraid to play, more, there's that sense of anticipation and nerves and, but once you do get started, and, you get past the first 3 or 4 holes, then everything kind of gets okay. That's kind of the same, I think, with any sport, any big event.
All right, Tom, here we go with the real questions now. And that is,
all right.
Okay, this Masters is going to be totally different. And the reason is animosity with the LIV Tour and the golfers now who are going to play. Do you think that there will be any backlash at all to those LIV golfers, or do you think everybody is just going to just say, okay, you are what you are, we're just going to leave it at that and play?
I think the guys to a certain point who have left it at that and just went and played to start with and didn't open their big fat mouth, the bad mouth, the PGA Tour or whatever, those guys probably will be more left alone. But I think there is that element of, PGA Tour fan, golf fan who sees the disloyalty, which is kind of the way a lot of us tour players, especially older tour players, see it. And I think they will, they're not going to be quite as happy to see those guys. But I don't think there'll be animosity. I just don't think there's going to be the love anymore. I think it's just going to be, okay, fine, you hit a good shot. Who cares? Let's move on to Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth and Roy McIlroy. We'll clap for them.
It's interesting because one of the, and I think this was done in tongue-in-cheek, Scott, Tom, is that Masters champion Scotty Scheffler suggested golfers from the Saudi Arabian financed LIV Tour sit at a separate table at the champions dinner. Now, he seemed to be joking, but a lot of folks didn't see the humor and kind of poking that bear in that kind of a comment.
You know what? I don't blame them. Quite frankly, it's a battle to the death between the PGA Tour and the LIV Tour. The PGA Tour can't afford to lose its stars. The LIV Tour needs them. There's only room for one winner in this game, and I'm all for the PGA Tour playing hardball and doing whatever it has to do to win this competition. I really am. I'm not a fan of the LIV Tour. Never have been. Never will be. I think anytime you get a chance to poke the bear with those LIV guys, I would think I would take it.
Do you think fans will poke the bear? You think they'll be like for Phil Mickelson? I don't think they'll
Well,
boo him, but
well,
yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is they've got to wear their team shirts. They've got to wear whatever their shirt is, whatever the team they're on.
Oh.
They're contractually obligated. So I don't even know the names of the teams or what they look like, but those are the shirts they're going to be wearing. So they're forced to set themselves apart just by what they're wearing. I mean, you're looking at a whole different new league that threatens the way the PGA Tour is operated and the way golf is operated, and it's kind of forced the tour to do some things that they probably had to do. But there's no love lost, and I can guarantee you that the guys who come over to this country and from other countries and play the PGA Tour make a fortune doing it. Maybe even marry an American woman, and then they start badmouthing the PGA Tour. I can't swallow that. So if there's ever going to be bad blood, those are the guys that are probably going to get it.
It's Tom Lehman, PGA Champions Tour player, 1996 British Open champion, joining us here on the right to the guest line. Rock Minucci, Jimmy B out here at the Barrio Queen in Avondale. All right, Tom, let's get down to golf. You see these guys playing right now. I thought an interesting comment from Rory McIlroy in reference to the golf ball. And I read it, and I thought he says maybe they don't make it such a high spin rate or that goes further, whatever. Does he want to, I hate to say this, dummy down the ball? Or what exactly was he talking about when he talked about the ball itself?
I didn't see what he said. I'm not really exactly certain. I know that the idea of trying to back off the golf ball after all these years is seemingly fruitless. The horses are so far out of the barn. I don't know how they could do it. The tour never wanted to bifurcate rules. I don't think they still probably don't want to if they didn't have to. So I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? But I actually really enjoy seeing the way these guys play the game now with the distances they hit it and how straight they hit it, how aggressively they play. I mean, it's a very intriguing style of play played by I think a whole bunch of really guys who are easy to cheer for. I mean, it's so easy to cheer for Justin Thomas and Scotty Scheffler and Rory and Spieth and I mean all those guys. I mean Max Homa. I mean, it's so easy to like them. I hope they don't do anything. I think it's fine. Just deal with it and move on.
And that point, when you talk about the equipment itself, the golf ball, Tom, where are you? What equipment are you using, or do you just kind of settle with your clubs, your irons, and your drivers for 2 or 3 years at a time? Or are you always looking to tweak and look for that advantage like all the other guys on the tour?
Yeah, well, you can find more yardage by getting the right recipe. The players all work really hard to find the right launch angle, right spin rate. Trying to train in order to increase their club head speed. But the Champions Tour, essentially the age where I'm at, it's kind of a losing cause. You keep on losing speed every year, so it doesn't make a difference. But those guys who are playing out there, they really have to. They have to pay attention to the technology. They have to pay attention to the science because you'll be left behind if you don't. So they're all looking for that edge.
Tiger played the tournament in California, made the cut, but struggled on the final day. His leg was kind of giving him issues. But he came into the Masters saying that, okay, I know what my limitations are, and I even feel better now than I did back then. What do you expect out of him this time?
Well, obviously it'll be a great effort. I expect him to be ready to play. Be mentally prepared for the challenge. I think his game probably is good enough. I would assume his game is good enough, and so really it all depends upon how much fatigue takes place and where that leaves you after 2 or 3 or 4 rounds. I think that's really the difficulty that anybody with a severe injury faces is just how much stamina do you have? How long will it hold up? Round 1 fine, round 2 not so fine. Round 3 really sore, and round 4 I can't play for 3 months. That's kind of the path that he's had, and I certainly hope he's better than that now, but I don't think it's going to be easy for him.
And Tom, talk about the course, and you always have told me and Rock over here the ups, the downs, the sideways, the this, that. Is that a challenge even if you have healthy legs after 4 rounds?
Yeah, well, just like just think about just walking, just simply walking
Right.
7 miles on uneven lives up and down hills. That's hard enough. But swinging a club at 100 plus miles an hour, probably let's say 40 something times while you do it, with all kinds of uneven lies on a leg that's probably not meant for that to happen. It just takes its toll. And but the one thing about Tiger, he's a tough guy. I mean, he's mentally tough. He's physically tough. If anybody can pull it off, he can. He's always been the one to exceed expectations. But to try to hit shots off of uneven lies where even more added pressure may go to that leg that's damaged, it just makes it so difficult. And all it takes is a couple of wild shots from those positions to make a couple of doubles, and you're out of the tournament. So it's very tough. It's a very, very tall order for him.
All right, I'll put you on the spot then. Who do you like in this tournament? Who's your favorite to try to bring home the title?
Yeah, you know what? I think Scheffler is the best player in the field right now. I'm going to pick him to repeat. But I do. If it's not him, I think McIlroy, who hasn't won the Masters yet, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to see him do it.
And more importantly, we got to ask you, what about the Vikings' moves or lack thereof here in the offseason? I'm just curious. I mean, just to beat you up a little bit about that.
Yeah, my man Adam Thielen is now, I think, playing for the Panthers. So all of Minnesota is mourning that. Their homegrown dude is moved on. Who knows? I think there is that feel that they do need more toughness. I mean, they just don't have seemingly they're not physical and tough like, say, the Eagles are, and they get exposed pretty quickly against those kinds of teams, and they need more of that.
Was that you? I heard, what the hell are you doing when I saw Kirk Cousins throw a check down with 4th down and 8 on the last play of the season? Was that you I heard in the background, Tom?
Yeah, probably. That was more than likely me.
I'm sorry, Tom. I couldn't resist. I thought about you. I went, oh, my gosh. I don't want to text Tom right now because he'll never talk to me forever. But anyways, hey, best of luck to you. Hey, real quick, where's your next stop on the Champions Tour?
Yeah. We play in Houston in a few weeks. So, this week, like everybody else, I'm a golf fan. Can't wait to watch these guys play.
Well, do me a favor. Tell the boys and your lovely bride, Melissa, I said hi. I miss them out there with the cone work and the cone drills, and they're well thought of. So, Tom, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Great talking to you.
Great, Tom. Thank you. Enjoy the Masters, pal.
Bye.
You got it. All right, that is Tom Lehman. Always great when he comes on. You know that?
Well,
I found it interesting when he said, okay, they were working out with you, but now they're playing golf.
Well,